Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
But a lot of them want to talk about the halftime act and whether it be Super Bowl or Grey Cup. Again, I don't know how long is this halftime going to be? 48 minutes? Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Mary J. Blige. Listen, I'm a fan of all of them, but how long do we have? I don't think I ever told you this story. 2007 Grey Cup in Toronto. Saskatchewan Roughriders, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I had lined up the premier of the province coming on, Brad Wall. Nobody bothered to tell the broadcaster that it was not a 16-minute halftime, or in special occasions we extended it to 18. 27-minute halftime show for the Grey Cup in Toronto. And do you remember the halftime act, by the way, of the 2007 Grey Cup? Anyways, I'm sitting there interviewing the premier of the province, Brad Wall. 27-minute halftime interview, Moose.
Wow.
You understand how things roll in this broadcast world. I feel like there was 55,000 people in Skydome that night. They all knew it was going to be 27 minutes at halftime.
Rod, we're going to need you to stretch for about 15 extra minutes. Like, not
with the premier of the province.
When I do television, I'm doing games or doing other things, and I got a producer in my ear. They'll say, we're going to need you to stretch for 15 seconds. We're going to need you to stretch for 30 seconds while we get things in place. No, Rod, we're going to need you to stretch for an extra 20 minutes. No big deal.
And I've done it, by the way.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Moose, I looked over my shoulder. If we can bring Moose onto the screen, I looked over my shoulder here in the break, and there was all these yachts going by. I feel like we could just charge admission, just put a camera up here, and just watch what's going on over my shoulder on a daily basis. You'd watch.
Oh, yeah. I'd be into that, for sure. Just put it up on the wall, and away we go. It's beautiful. I could just sit down there all day, I'm sure of it.
Out of the bunker, into the sunshine. On the road with the Rod Pedersen Show.
Thank you very much, Rick Regan, and happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the program. It's rainy, actually, Rick. It's a rainy day here. We're back in Dodge City. Still gorgeous, though, South Florida, as we roll with episode number 584 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. We welcome in the Moose and see if he's still loose. How you doing, Darren Moose DuPont?
I'm doing well. You look like you're getting some sun, so that's good. The color is coming.
Oh, boy, are we jumping into story time already? Are we jumping into story time?
What else would we do?
We talk about how, I know. Hey, this is the warm-up, by the way, for our friends at E-Cold Electric. And were your ears burning, Moose, yesterday around 11:45 a.m. Eastern? Or Mountain, sorry, your time, were your ears burning?
Yeah,
we were talking about you.
You were, hey?
Yeah.
Tell
well,
me
that's
more.
No secret to you.
I know.
You know who and what I was talking about. Well, listen, let me just line up the show. Yes, we're coming to you from rainy South Florida today. Going to talk a lot of football. Going to talk a lot of hockey, and there's a reason for that. Barry Long is joining us, the host of Go Long Live out of Southern California. I was on his show last week. Long story as to why. We got real close real fast. Barry Long is going to come on later on today to talk Major League Baseball playoffs and NFL. And Jim Lang, Canada's foremost NFL expert, is going to be joining us as well. But what we always do on these Monday mornings is our Great Western Summer Photo Album, which I guess we can change to the Great Western Fall Photo Album. But before we get into the Quick Stick Show topics, let's just share our weekend photos and get a chance to feature our viewers. Oh, we don't have them? Oh, we don't have them ready. Oh, Clark said, yeah, it's okay. I got you. So everything crashed, Clark says, so we don't have the photos. Well, that's unfortunate. Now I'm going to have to tell these stories without visual evidence. So, yeah, I was at the Dolphins game yesterday, which we're going to talk about here shortly, against the Colts, and I was in one of the suites, and you knew who it was. You knew that it was Super Agent Gil Scott. He and Drew Rosenhaus were there. For those that don't know Drew Rosenhaus, he's the next question. agent. And both he and Gil were together in the end zone last night in warm-ups. I'm getting so sidetracked here early on. But anyways, I'm sitting in row 1 of the end zone watching the Colts warm up. And the guy comes up to me and he's like, "Excuse me, dude, is that your seat?" And I'm like, "Well, judging by your tone, you know it's not." And he laughed and he goes, he's there with his wife, right? And he's like, "Oh, no, it's good. I'll just sit right here. But when the game starts, you're going to have to move." I said, "It's all good. It's all good." So, but it was hot yesterday. I want to say about 88. And it's going to be here today again once the cloud burns off. But I said, "It's okay. I'm leaving soon." He goes, "You need a hat. You need a hat, bro." And I'm like, "No, I'll be fine." And then I ended up going up to the suite to watch the first half with Gil Scott, the super agent. And your name came up. He was very interested in Darren Moose DuPont. And Gil watches the show every day on Game Plus television. He's in Toronto, and he has Rogers is his cable carrier. They carry Game Plus TV, as you know, Moose. So Gil never misses the show, and he wanted to know all about you. So I pumped your tires. As a matter of fact, you know that because I called you right after the game,
Yes.
like a couple of schoolgirls. "You wouldn't believe this, Darren."
I remember the call. And then I was so mad when the cell signal was breaking up.
It was breaking up, I know. Listen, we're going to get to actual sports in a moment, but people enjoy story time. Like, listen, when this show went to national TV a year and a half ago, Gil called me from Toronto. Okay, he's the Jerry Maguire of Canada, and he's got a lot of NFL clients. That's why he was at the game yesterday. So here's Gil. He's on the phone. He's like, "So, Rod, how do I watch your show now? Is it on Twitter? It's on Facebook. How do I watch your show?" I said, "Gil, what's your cable carrier?" "It's Rogers." I said, "Turn your TV on and go to Guide and look up Game Plus TV." And he's like, "Oh, there you are." He's never missed a show since. So anyways, that's the Gil Scott story. And I actually was able to watch a half of football with him yesterday. And again, your name came up. Okay, enough preambling. And you guys let me know when those photos are ready because they were so awesome. Our weekends. Can we hit the Quick Six Show horn, please? Quick Six Show topic horn. We're going to open with the National Football League, the game that everybody's talking about. Tom Brady rallied the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a 19-17 victory over the Patriots on a rainy Sunday night in Foxborough. Ryan Suckup hitting the winning 48-yard field goal late in the fourth quarter. Of course, the Patriots kicker missed one that might have won them the game. Your team, I'm just going to read the highlights of the teams that the big games and the teams that we care about. Matt Amendola kicked a 22-yard field goal in overtime, and then Randy Bullock was wide left on a potential tying 49-yarder with 15 seconds to go. Gave the New York Jets their first win of the year, 27-24 over Moose's Titans. That was at the Meadowlands. In Arlington, Texas, home of America's team, Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. Zeke had his first 100-yard rushing game of the season, and the number one defense, now owned by the Dallas Cowboys, they beat Carolina on Sunday. Zeke finished with 143 yards and a touchdown. And the game that I was at, Carson Wentz threw a pair of touchdown passes to Mo Alley Cox. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 103 yards and a TD. And Indy got their first win of the season by topping sputtering Miami. I think with 27-17 was the final. I know I'm rambling here, Moose, and I'll get to whatever you want to talk about with the National Football League. But it was a bad game. It was 3-0 Dolphins into the second quarter, and then Wentz drove the field, and with the touchdown that I was talking about to open the scoring for them, 7-3 at the half, and then the Colts. That's the one thing about football that you must love as much as me. Don't go by what's happening in the first half, right? Ask the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah. And we won't talk about their coaches in the news today. But just in-game adjustments, man. That's why I'm a hockey guy. There's no two ways about it. But football is a more beautiful game, as far as I'm concerned, for in-game adjustment.
Yeah, and we can sit on that Miami game because the Dolphins feel like the most frustrating team in football because they took such strides last year with Ryan Fitzpatrick and then Tua Tagovailoa. And then this year they're supposed to pick up where they left off, and Tua goes down and it feels like the season's over. 1-3. They should be better, even with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. The Dolphins are dropping passes, missing assignments.
That's what I mean.
They're not wrapping up on tackles. They are the most frustrating team in football, I think.
Well, yeah, and I will say this, though. I was listening to the postgame show on the way home, and the guys on there were saying that Sam McGuavin's their best pass rushing linebacker. He got another sack yesterday for the Miami Dolphins. I'm such a freak, right? Like, I watch the games for my friends. I don't necessarily watch them as the fan, So, yeah, the Dolphins fans are very frustrated. Their team's 1-3. Anyways, we'll come back on the NFL. We got a lot of that to get to. Jim Lang joining us later. Point 2, the Blue Jays are done. They got the win they needed Sunday, 10-1 over the Baltimore Orioles, but they got no help on the scoreboard. The Jays needed the Red Sox or Yankees to lose to get a tiebreaker spot of their own. Didn't happen. And the Blue Jays win their last game of the year and they're out. And we're going to move on, Moose, because I'm just going to say this. When I heard the result yesterday, I'm like, okay, one thing that we don't have to worry about anymore is baseball. Because even here, last week, I was driving around listening to WQAM, the biggest sports talk station in southern Florida, and they were talking about this AL wildcard race, and they're like, listen, guys, we don't talk much baseball. We don't care much baseball around here, but what's going on in the American League is wild. But the chips fell. The Blue Jays, they didn't fall in their favor, and they missed the playoffs, and they can look themselves in the mirror as to why. We've covered that enough. Let's talk about teams that are playing. I'm very upset on the Blue Jays for pissing away a great opportunity. Hockey, because here's another thing. I'm getting it all the time here in South Florida from the people I'm hanging with. More hockey on the Rod Pedersen Show. More hockey, more hockey. Remember when Paul, the infamous Paul, the Three Musketeers, the third, he might be the first if you ask him. Remember when he pounded his coffee cup on our table in the morning meeting? More hockey, more hockey, more hockey. I think we got to talk more hockey, Moose, because that's what I'm getting with from the people of South Florida here.
Yeah, it works for me, and we're getting that up here too. I mean, it is hockey season now. The puck's dropped in Major Junior, and it's about to drop in the National Hockey League.
Right. So Sunday, the Vancouver Canucks announced they've officially signed restricted free agents Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes to new deals. Pettersson signed a 3-year deal worth $7.35 million a year. Hughes' deal, 6 years at $7.85 million. You know me. I don't care about the money side of things. Just get out and play. I'm interested to hear from our viewers as the morning goes along, or afternoon, depending where you are, how you feel about your team coming out of the weekend, because I saw Winnipeg Jets fans are upset that Eric Comrie, their backup goalie, let in too many goals against the Oilers on Saturday night. I'll say it again for those that weren't listening the first time. If you're upset about the play of your backup goalie, that's the worst thing that you got to worry about. You got a pretty good hockey team. And, by the way, I'm following the Florida Panthers. I had 2 significant meetings, Moose, with the Panthers Friday night at FLA Live Arena as they were having their way with the Dallas Stars 6-3 the other night. And I'm going to keep the contents of those meetings private, other than to say get ready for a lot of Florida Panthers talk and guests coming up on this program. They're probably watching this morning. Hi, Panthers. How we doing for time? Lots of time.
Lots of it.
Warm up for Cold Electric. Yeah, so I want you have thoughts on this, Darren. My next point, and they're all out of order here. This is, I think, point 4. The NHL has reached out to Robin Lehner to set up an interview after the Vegas Golden Knights goalie made several accusations on social media, including that teams give players drugs without a doctor's consent. In a series of tweets on Saturday, Lehner said he knows, quote, many teams that give sedatives and anxiety pills to players without a doctor's prescription. He referenced the Philadelphia Flyers and coach Alain Vigneault and claimed to have proof. In a statement Sunday, Flyers general manager Chuck Fletcher denied that allegation, saying, quote, the health and well-being of our players is our top priority, and any care provided to them comes from the team's healthcare professionals, not the coaching staff. We have no reason to believe any of our players have received improper care. In other news, the water in this pool is wet. Darren,
how about that?
I don't know. Like, when you brought up this morning you wanted to talk about Robin Lehner, I was like, I don't know what we want to talk about here. I love Robin Lehner. I'm an advocate for mental health issues just like him. He's been very public about his. But it's like, if I'm the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm disabling his Twitter account. And I'm making very strict rules for when he addresses the media, Robin Lehner. And this is coming from a Robin Lehner and Vegas Golden Knights fan, by the way. We get this all the time. Ryan Kessler went after the NHL, right, in that W5 documentary last year about this exact thing. Teams have medical personnel for a reason that have license, if you will, to dole out anti-anxiety and sedative medication to their players. How is this breaking news? That's my point. And it's why would Robin pick Saturday to go off on this? The floor is yours.
Yeah, there's more to it. There has to be more to it, right? In terms of timing and what's been going on. But we know Robin Lehner deals with his share of things. He's been very public about it and open about it. I think we support that and support, the players in that situation. But from an ownership perspective or a general manager perspective, you hear whether it's Fletcher saying, hey, look, we're denying this because, our guys have a standard and they're upholding it and we know nothing about what Robin Lehner is accusing us of. But they have a degree of separation. They're not in the locker room. They're not in the locker room every day. They're not dealing in the trainers' rooms. They just want the report. Can he play? Can he not play? Who can play? Who can't? Right? And if a player can play, he's valuable to your team and he's going to get paid. And I think that might be a little bit of the culture in hockey that's being talked about is I don't care what you're dealing with. Can you play? And so a player will say, I can play. And we hear all these stories about how tough NHL players are because they'll play on broken legs and they'll play with broken fingers and they'll play when they're hurt. And, they'll play through mental issues as well. Whether that's good, whether that's bad, that's a whole nother discussion. But this is going on. Sure, I get it. But I don't understand why Robin Lehner comes out on the weekend and says it. There has to be more to the story.
This is a pro sports wide epidemic, if you will, and it's not just the NHL. And again, teams giving out prescription drugs without doctors' prescriptions. Oh, no.
It opens up a whole nother conversation, too, on sport when you talk about it, because it's in every league, right? We've always heard and talked about the cortisone shots that football players take at halftime so they can numb the pain in their elbows and their shoulders and their knees and get back out and play. And then the long-term damage that it's going to do. Well, you're not thinking about it in the moment. And we think about that like it's not fair. But all we can do is think about that from our perspective because we have HR departments that protect our employees and unions that protect us. And, yeah, the players have a union as well.
Yeah.
But it's a different situation because you're getting paid multi-millions of dollars, and it's a completely different conversation.
Enough. It's not news. I want to talk about the games. James Zylstra, watching on YouTube, says, hey, the NFL does the same thing with players. Drugs, medication, painkillers. Yes, they do. From the Puck and Pigskin podcast, the Golden Knights wishing they hadn't just given Fleury away now. The Golden Knights knew what they knew what they were doing. They knew what they had in Robin Lehner, and they knew what they had in Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, this isn't new from Robin Lehner.
What?
Him going on social media talking about stuff and the mental health stuff that we know he battles. Like, it's not new. They know what they have in him.
Jennifer Illingworth from the Four Seasons says, Archibald out indefinitely with the Oilers from myocarditis from contracting COVID sometime during the summer. It's Josh Archibald, right? He was born in Regina, and we wish Archibald well. We got a lot of comments coming in from the viewers. Ryan in Saratoga, New York, has dropped $5 in the kitty on YouTube, and he says, good day to the Rod Squad and my friends around the world from Saratoga, New York. It's rainy and dreary outside, but as a Jets and Yankees fan, it's a sunny day. He paid $5 for the super chat to get his comment read because we are the only fans of sports talk. Moose, we are just getting rolling, I feel like, don't you?
Yeah. We've
rolling?
scratched the surface.
I haven't got anywhere near all my points yet here in the warm-up on the Quick Six. But the warm-up has been brought to you by Ecold Electric. Our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. Ecold Electric, let's get to work. We're going to pause and come back with more of this because we haven't even gotten to the CFL yet, and I've got plenty more on the National Hockey League and obviously NFL 2. We're live from Dodge City in gorgeous South Florida where the sun's coming out. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game.
FanDuel.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Thank you. I'll look at downtown Pompano Beach, Florida, where I believe we'll be on Tuesday, live from the Beach House. We're here at Dodge City today, and before we bring the Moose back in, the Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. That's 840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. A lot of people wanting to talk about the Toronto Blue Jays season ending yesterday. Ray in the 6 writes in, Kitchener, Ontario area. He says, Rod, what a great weekend. Sorry, Jays didn't get into an extra tiebreaker, but what an exciting team for the future. My Bills walked over Houston. I'm getting to that. And he says, I went to an OHL exhibition game in Kitchener, and I'm going to the Argos on Wednesday. Life is good. Ray writes in all caps. From DG in Saskatoon says, morning, guys. The Blue Jays record at Rogers Center this year, 25-11. Record at Buffalo and Dunedin, 21-22. Says, I'm not saying, but I'm saying, yeah, the rules in Canada and the slow vaccine rollout are why they aren't moving on, plain and simple. You can make excuses for why the Blue Jays aren't making the playoffs. That's fine. I think the diamond is the same dimensions in every ballpark. Are they not? 90 feet to the pitcher's mound, 60 feet on the base paths, Darren? Am I right on that?
The diamond is regulation wherever we go. Yeah, you're
60,
right.
90. I had it backwards.
And make no mistake, like this was not. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, this wasn't a good season for the Jays. There's plenty of optimism. We're excited. You know, the youth, the run they went on at the end, they got close. But this season shouldn't be viewed as this great success and how close they came. Yeah, they had, you know, more wins than any season other than the World Series win in the early 90s. But this was a disappointing season.
Yeah, but as long as there are people that are willing to make excuses for them, I'm sorry, DG in Saskatoon, but that's what that is. There's no impetus for them to get better. Sorry. By the way, Leonard writing from the 536. He says, I'm worried about Cody Fajardo's football IQ. Deja vu, same right-handed pass, long ball he threw in Calgary. He's becoming the Jameis Winston of the CFL. Interesting thing. I heard it a couple times today. I heard it all weekend here in South Florida. They said, we love watching your show, but when you talk CFL, you lose me. And I thought, well, we are Canada's daytime sports talk show, so we should talk about the Canadian Football League, but maybe we'll scale back the amount of Canadian Football League that we talk. I mean, we got to talk about it, Moose. And what would you expect in South Florida? They're like, more hockey, more hockey, more hockey, because they're not getting it, and they can get NFL anywhere, but they want more hockey. Anyway, we'll get to that CFL thing. But Clark tells me that they do have the photos ready to roll before we go any further. Okay. From Great Western Brewing Company, our photo album. What do you got, guys, if we can go in order here? That is myself with Gil Scott. That is in the luxury suite at Hard Rock Stadium on Sunday. Gil and I, the godfather of agents. How about that? Watching the game in style. There is our view. I just turned the camera around and took a look at how beautiful is that place, Moose.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's how you watch a football game.
Yes. I felt like, hey, ran into my guy Dan Marino there, Hall of Famer with the Miami. Doesn't he just look like a Hall of Famer?
Oh, yeah. He always looks good.
He always. That's my boy, Sam McGuavin, slug, number 49, who got another sack yesterday for the Miami Dolphins. Their best pass rushing linebacker. My guy said, I didn't try and stalk him in the parking lot this week like I did last home game. But anyways, Sam looking good. And that's you? Was that you?
This
or that's
is
Clark?
producer
That's Clark.
Clark.
That looks like Clark's seat. Yeah, that's producer Clark. Okay, so he was working the Pats game on Saturday, the home opener. What was it, 5-2? They throttled the Prince Albert Raiders?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What else we got here? Who is this? This is you. Oh, you made a presentation.
Yeah, so made a donation to the Regina Thunder in name of the Wynyard High School and the Wynyard Bears, my high school. And that's my old math teacher and high school football coach, Morris Sokol. His kid, Rylan, is now a young football star in Regina. And I said, with the donation, I said, all I want is some gear. So he packaged up 2 nice Wynyard High School Bears bags, one for you and one for me. So we've got some gear for the Bears when you come back. So that was nice to see them, and I called the game. And then this is the Rams and Dinos game where the Rams upset the number 1 team in the country. I called that game with Justin Dunk on television across Western Canada, and that was my view pregame.
Nice. Well, that was a sporting weekend for all of us working. And they didn't put in my photo from the Panthers game on Friday night, but I did have like I said, long meeting with Randy Moeller, the head of the Panthers alumni, and he is their broadcaster as well. Randy Moeller, people will know him from the NHL. I had his hockey cards from the Buffalo Sabres. He's the guy that screams, Mom, meatloaf! Or the booth is on fire!
How about
Guy's
that?
a star, an absolute rock star.
Yeah.
So anyways, that is the weekend photo album presented by Great Western. An original 16 to fit your active lifestyle, a superior taste with only 80 calories and 2.5% alcohol. Taste without compromise. Purchase at a store near you today. And as Randy Moeller said, we can't have enough Western Canadian guys around the Panthers. I couldn't agree more. So moving on, the poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, which is the best team in the National Football League? And we agonized over this, Moose, you and I, trying to put our heads together here because you do your top 5. The Cardinals are still unbeaten. They beat the Rams on Sunday. The Bucs, of course, went into Foxborough and won a tight one. The Rams are in the top 4. That was their first loss on Sunday. And then you gave me a choice of a bunch of teams, and I had to go with the Dallas Cowboys because we had our way yesterday with the Carolina Panthers, the previously unbeaten Carolina Panthers, and probably should be 4-0, but for that loss on opening night at Tampa Bay, the Cardinals are running away with it with 50%. So before we jump back to hockey, and then we'll get to some CFL, your thoughts on who the top team is in the National Football League?
Yeah, if you pin me down and force me to decide today, it's probably the Cardinals. But the argument's there for Dallas, right? They've taken care of business. They pushed Tampa right down to the wire and could have won that football game. So the argument's there. There's an argument to be made for Green Bay. You know, they had one bad week where they weren't, didn't show up, and they've rolled through everybody. Buffalo, another argument to be made there. It's really tough. And then tonight, I really like the Chargers. They're a top team in this league. And then the Raiders, who are unbeaten. But the Raiders have had a bit of a softer schedule, the big win in primetime over Baltimore. If they make a statement tonight against the Chargers, it could be the Raiders come tomorrow morning. But today it's the Cardinals, I think.
Jason in Red Deer writes in and he says, how do you put any teams with a loss ahead of the Raiders in this poll? Because they're the Raiders. That's why Cinderella's Pumpkin Uber is going to be showing up probably around midnight tonight.
A few hours from now, it'll show up.
Monday Night Football.
This isn't standings.
Yeah.
This is power rankings. Best teams.
Exactly. By the way, there are some viewers that want to chat a little bit about the weekend in the Canadian Football League. So somebody asked me here for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Ryan Gregory says, Rod, do you think the Bombers will go the rest of the season without losing? Matt Dunnigan doesn't think so. It doesn't matter whether they lose or not, but write it down now. They might as well just hand the Grey Cup trophy over to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers right now. They're 7-1. Nobody's anywhere close to them. We thought that maybe the Saskatchewan Roughriders were in their ilk, and they proved on Saturday that they were not, which is, again, back to story time. You said, if I don't watch the games, not to say it. And I'm like, I'm just going to say it anyways. I spent Saturday afternoon jet skiing in the Florida Keys. It's a thing. I didn't watch the Rider game. I'm sorry. I went back and saw the highlights. I saw the stats. And by the way, Moose, I went to Jimmy Johnson's on Saturday afternoon, too.
That's the place to be. I would probably do the same thing if I was in the Florida Keys. I'd have my paddleboard out, or I'd have taken the jet ski out for sure.
Ooh. You'd be all over this.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I was kind of setting up for a joke. I went to Jimmy Johnson's, but he wasn't there. But the guy that gave the tour of the jet skis on Saturday, Stevie B, I said, where does Jimmy Johnson live around here? And he goes, right down the road from me. And I said, oh, what kind of guy is he? He goes, he's a great guy. Did I tell you these stories when I called you the other night?
Yeah. But tell him again.
Here, Jimmy Johnson's. Hey?
I said, tell him again.
Yeah, tell him again. Yeah, he goes, Jimmy Johnson's a great guy. He goes, if you ask him about football, he won't talk to you. But if you ask him about fishing, you can't shut him up. And he said, I see him every morning running by my house down Overseas Highway with his iPod strapped to his arm, his headphones on, and loving life. Jimmy Johnson, the NFL icon, two-time Super Bowl winning coach with America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? So, yeah, went to Jimmy Johnson's. He wasn't there. Maybe next time. Joe Lazito is watching in New York. He says, my very biased answer to your poll question is the Buffalo Bills. And, again, you gave me the choice of like 4 teams to put on that fourth option. One of them was the Bills. They destroyed the Houston Texans yesterday, 40-0. And I was at the game here when they destroyed the Dolphins. What was it, Joe? 45-0? When you're not allowing any points there, I don't care who you're playing against. It's the National Football League. There's no easy games in the National Football. Ask the Titans. Look what happened to them yesterday.
I know.
The Bills might legitimately be the best team in the NFL.
I know. And, the Jets' rookie quarterback, very talented, and he made plays all over the field. He won that game for the Jets. And the Titans didn't have, a couple of big weapons, but these are good football teams. This is professional football. It doesn't matter what league you're playing in. Good teams are good teams. Yeah, you lose games, but Jacksonville can win games. It's rare that teams go unbeaten. And a lot of it has to do with matchups. But right now, Buffalo, no matter who they play, their defense is good. Josh Allen's putting points on the board. They're a dangerous, dangerous football team right now. And that's what's so great about the NFL is right now, I probably could put up 10 teams that have a legit chance to win the Super Bowl. There's probably 10 teams in the NFL right now that have a chance to win the Super Bowl. And the gap between 1 and 10 is closer than it's ever been.
This quick six has turned into a real dog's breakfast. I'm just going to finish things up here. Before we bring in our man, Barry Long, host of Go Long Live. NHL from Sunday night. Kasperi Kapanen scored twice. Tristan Jarry made 25 saves, and the Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Detroit Red Wings 5-1 in NHL preseason play. Joe Pavelski gave Dallas the lead at 4:02 of the third period, and the Stars held off the Coyotes in the Kraft Hockeyville game in El Paso, Texas. The game was part of the NHL's Kraft Hockeyville initiative that brings an exhibition game to a non-NHL market in the USA or Canada. This year, Kraft Hockeyville US was in El Paso, Texas. And Bo Horvat and Tanner Pearson each had a goal and an assist to help Vancouver beat Winnipeg on Sunday night. Nick Patan also scored for the Canucks. Canada putting forth their first three names for the Olympic team that will be competing in Beijing. Crosby, it's Beijing, right? Crosby, McDavid, and Alex Pietrangelo. You were asking me this morning, where's Nathan McKinnon on this list? Why is he not in the top three? Obviously, you went in and did the reading on it. Crosby, hello, of course. McDavid, same thing. And Doug Armstrong, the GM of the St. Louis Blues, said he had the relationship with Alex Pietrangelo. They won a Stanley Cup together. So even though Pietrangelo plays for the Vegas Golden Knights, there was the Blues connection there. It's just the first three. You're going to get Nathan McKinnon probably in the next wave. And lastly, before we move on and break and bring in Barry Long, from the CFL, week 9, Friday night, Winnipeg beat BC 30-9. There was a doubleheader Saturday. Montreal beat Hamilton 23-20 in overtime, and Calgary knocked off Saskatchewan 23-17. It was a game that the Riders were favored to win. Cody Fajardo, after the game, came out, and he's getting a lot of heat over this. You've seen it, basically saying that, if I read it correctly or heard it correctly, that they're absent playmakers in their receiving crew. He goes, I throw up 50-50 balls and we're not coming down with it. They're being picked off or hitting the ground, and he is getting roasted for that. That's the sense that I'm getting from down here in South Florida. Have I read that right?
It's kind of the early feeling this week, right? That's kind of how it's being taken anyways. So we'll see where it goes, but that's what happens when you come up with a disappointing game and you lose the game that you probably should have won, right? Against a team you probably should beat. I don't know. This is a real head scratcher, and it leaves fans Rider fans wondering, what do they have right now in their team? Because one week they look like they should be competing with Winnipeg for a top seed and being a challenger for a Grey Cup, and then after this weekend you're like, where are they? And what kind of group is it? And now it's wide open, and Rider fans don't want to feel uncomfortable, and they want to know that their team is a contender. And right now, as we wake up Monday morning, we're really not sure what to make of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
We got a lot to kick around a little later on with Moose. Moose, we'll talk to you in a bit.
You bet.
It's the RP Show, Monday get-together, episode number 584. Barry Long joins us next. You're watching from Dodge City in South Florida on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming, the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Live from Florida, the Rod Pedersen Show continues on this Monday, Canada's daytime sports talk show. We've got a lot of questions that have come in on the text line regarding the CFL, so hang on. We'll get to the bulk of that. Just open hour 2. Barry Long, host of Go Long Live. I was on his show last week with the great Sage Alvarez, and I said to Barry, man, it was just so much fun. I got to get you on my show to return the favor. But he's a baseball guy. He's a football guy. What's up, Barry? Happy Monday. How are you, my man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing very good. Thank you so much for having me today, Rod. How you doing in Southern Florida?
I'm doing. I'm out. Are you look around? Are you kidding me? Listen, when I was on your show last week, we were talking about the Blue Jays, and it went down to the final day. And to be honest with you, now that they're out, on this show, I'm going to be turning my attention to the National Football League, CFL Stretch Drive, and the NHL. But you're a baseball guy. Let me ask you this. Did the right teams, in your opinion, claim the pennants and the wild card spots? Is this, after 162 games, I would hope that was the case. Are the right teams in here as we go full bore into the playoff?
You know what? As a Dodgers fan, I would have loved to see the Dodgers win the NL West, but I absolutely think that all the correct teams did win. And when you look at the wild card round, you've got the Yankees and you've got the Red Sox, two of the most storied franchises in the Major League Baseball history. And you're excited to see, this is the reason why the Yankees brought in Garrett Cole for a one-and-done situation. Just excited to see what's going to happen in that game. Of course, we know that the Yankees struggled with the Red Sox early on. But, the Yankees look like they're rolling pretty well. And then when you look at the NL side, even though the Dodgers tied a record with 106 wins, they're going to be probably the best wild card team that we've ever seen in the Major League history. But they're playing against the St. Louis Cardinals, who are hotter than fish grease with a 17-game winning streak. You got Max Scherzer on the mound. He's going to be a factor in this game. That's why they brought him over because, they would have probably put Trevor Bauer in that situation. But, of course, we know what happened with him. But, yeah, I think all the correct teams won their division, and I'm excited to see who's going to come out on top of these wild card games.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Cardinals, Dodgers, you talk about a classic National League showdown. And, you said it's a shame the Giants won the West because you're a Dodgers fan. But at least the Dodgers have a chance. They're in, too. This is kind of the best of the both worlds, I would think, for West Coast baseball fans.
Absolutely. We love going up against the Giants and of course everyone thought the Padres were before they got eliminated that they were making a lot of noise and being excited, but yeah, Dodgers are in and we have a chance to take over and beat the Cardinals. We love playing against the Cardinals, but it's at Dodger Stadium, and like I said, Max Scherzer coming in, he's gonna be Max. Mad Max is gonna be Mad Max. And then when you look at Max Muncy, who actually got injured, we don't know what's going to happen over there. But the Dodgers have depth, and they've been building depth for years. So Albert Pujols, I don't expect him to start first base every single game if they do get past the Cardinals in this wild card. But then, yeah, you got to be excited if you're a Cardinals fan. The Cardinals, they got Adam Wainwright going up against the Dodgers. It's going to be a wonderful game, and I'm excited to watch.
Hey, listen, I got one more baseball question, then I got to ask you about Urban Meyer, okay, and the hot water that he's in today. But when I was on with you last week, you're bullish on the Chicago White Sox. You asked me about Chicago. I'm like, listen, man, I'm just a Jays fan. I don't know nothing about the White Sox other than they ran away with the AL Central. Are they going to make some noise in these, World Series playoffs or not?
You know what? I honestly don't think that they're going to get past the division round. I think that they're a young team, and we've seen it with a lot of these teams that are coming up and coming. They could make noise, but in my honest opinion, I think they'll get to the division round. I think you run into a buzzsaw team in Tampa Bay, the Rays. They are a team that's taken those steps these past years. Although their pitching rotation might not be what it once was last year, but I think that they're still prime. They have a lot of good teams. A lot of good players. Rosarena is going to be playing amazing baseball, as he always is in the playoffs. So when it comes down to it, I do like the White Sox, and I like the noise that they've made. I'm excited that they won the AL Central for the first time in a few years. But I just think that this is not their year. I give them 1 or 2 more years. They add another arm to that rotation, and then they could probably, get to the World Series and potentially win it. But if you're a White Sox fan right now, you should be happy that you won the AL Central. But let's not push it too far and say that you're going to win the World Series. There's levels to this.
A real rapid fire question, Barry. Real rapid fire. I told you, okay. I said Dodgers Rays World Series rematch. What's your World Series matchup?
I got Dodgers Rays World Series matchup. The Giants are playing great baseball.
That's it.
Okay.
Stop. I said real quick. That's it. I don't need an explanation. Just who's going to do it, because I got to ask you about Urban Meyer. This is my last thing in the 2 minutes we have left. Jaguars coach Urban Meyer apologized to his family, his team, and owner Sad Khan for being a distraction today after a video surfaced over the weekend showing a young woman dancing close to his lap in Columbus. Meyer called a team meeting today and vowed to own it. The motto he uses daily and is plastered all around the Jaguars facility. Urban didn't fly back with the team after Thursday's loss at Cincinnati. He went to Columbus to see family members and dine at his restaurant, the Pine House. My question, Barry, is does Urban Meyer see the end of his contract in Jacksonville because the team's crappy, or he goes to USC, or stupid stuff like this? Should we be surprised that this happened with Urban Meyer?
We should definitely be surprised because Urban Meyer has such a great reputation. He's been lauded as one of the greatest coaches of all time in college. And 2 weeks ago, there was he was mic'd up and he met Cliff Kingsbury at midfield and he said, "Hey man, it's like playing Alabama every week." So that told me that his mentality is still in college. And after the loss that they just had on Thursday night, he was at the podium looking sad, like his dog just died. So I feel like he's trying to get an easy out. Or a way to resign as the Jaguars head coach earlier before the season ends. And I just want to really quick say this, that he was drunk. He was clearly drunk at the bar. That's not Urban Meyer. That's Bourbon Meyer. And I don't think he'll make it to the bye week. I don't think he'll make it to the bye week, Rod.
I got you. There's a wild story coming out today on Urban Meyer. Just seems that things follow him around all the time. Barry, where can people watch Go Long Live?
They can watch Go Long Live. We are on Coachella Valley TV. We are on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Just type in Go Long Live, and I'll pop up.
All right, Barry, thanks so much. Give my best to Sage, and we'll talk real soon.
All right, thank you, sir.
Barry Long II from Go Long Live. Moose back in here next. We'll get to all your CFL questions, more on this evolving Urban Meyer situation, the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a Monday. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show, and we'll be right back on Game Plus TV, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grain. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grain Systems a call today.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Show continues into the final segment of hour one as you get a look at Robbie's, the backside of Robbie's in the Florida Keys. Another weekend spent down there. And the sun has come out in South Florida here today as we put the wrapper on hour one. We got lots of time in it, though. We welcome the Moose back into the bunker. I think. Are you there, Moose? Can we get him up on the screen? There is so much going on. I understand, Darren, why people say this is the best time of year for sports fans, but I'm not sure that it is. And if you look at the comments, you're going to look up and see one from Jason May. He's a viewer of ours in Alabama, and he says, shout out to the University of Kentucky for beating the Florida Gators at home for the first time since 1986. I watched the end of that game Saturday night. It was wild. It was edge-of-your-seat stuff, and I'm just like, because I'm a squirrel, I don't think this is the best time of year in sports. There is one best time of year in sports. It's in the spring. It's called the Stanley Cup Playoffs. And I'm sitting here thinking between the NHL, NFL, CFL, college football, U Sports football kicking off, PFC, which you called on the weekend, Canadian hockey. It's too much. It's too much to cover sitting here today in 2 hours. I'll tell you that for free right now.
It's a lot. It's a real lot. Maybe that's a poll question. Best time of year in sports because it is spring, where the NHL playoffs, that round one of the National Hockey League playoffs is by far the best sport moment of the whole year. I mean, World Juniors is great, but that's a Canadian thing only. March Madness, the kind of opening weekend of March Madness is a lot of fun. That's a pretty good moment. But yeah, it's spring. This is busy. It's hard to follow everything, but it is nice watching college football on Saturday and NFL on Sunday.
It's great, but I'm just saying it's a lot to stay on top of to sit here every day and try and speak intelligently on it. And I'm not sure that I am speaking intelligently on it. But anyways, my cousin Christine is watching in Medicine Hat, Alberta, and she says, this is a first for me. She's watching on YouTube. She says, I'm not on my Facebook. I thought maybe I was blocked. No, Chris, we would never block you here no matter what. But for whatever reason, Facebook is down. And I see our viewers are saying maybe this is the opportunity to just kick Facebook to the curb, which might be a little sentimental to do, Moose, because that was our first broadcast platform. But they're being a little screwy today.
Yeah, I can tell you don't know this, but I think because of these issues with Facebook, we won't be on Facebook all week. So we'll come back next week, I think, but we'll have some internal meetings. It might be the time to do it. Do we have to have a memorial for Facebook in this show? I don't know. Maybe.
Jeffrey Townend's watching in Salt Lake City, and he says, I think this is the best time of year. But I'm a bigger football fan than hockey fan. So, yeah. Well, we'll kick around all these topics. But as you've said, Rod, what do you want to talk about? I just want to tell stories about going to the Keys on the weekend and going to Jimmy Johnson's and all the bloodline locations, which is what I think I'll do.
Yes.
Coming back after this break. Hour 2 is ahead for Core Grain right after this break on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Moose, I looked over my shoulder. If we can bring Moose onto the screen, I looked over my shoulder here in the break, and there was all these yachts going by. I feel like we could just charge admission, just put a camera up here, and just watch what's going on over my shoulder on a daily basis. You'd watch.
Oh, yeah. I'd be into that for sure. Just put it up on the wall, and away we go. It's beautiful. I could just sit down there all day, I'm sure of it.
Out of the bunker, into the sunshine. On the road with the Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, the beautiful intercoastal in sunny Fort Lauderdale as we crack the lid on a brand new week. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show, but as I said to the Moose, we may need to find a new name, a new tagline for that as we broadcast again from South Florida. And I was talking to Brian Dodge, the mayor of Dodge City, about what should I be talking about. This was in the break. I mean, there's so much going on, and it's kind of funny, but not funny, Moose, as we bring in the Moose here. Darren Moose DuPont, the owner and proprietor of this show. My cousin, Christine, you must have seen this. She says, I can't find the clip specifically or the comment, but she said, yes, it is an exciting time of the year, especially with the Raptors starting on Monday with their first preseason game. And I'm like, what? Did you see it?
Yeah, it's up a little bit.
The NBA? We haven't even talked about the NBA. I didn't even know where they're like. Listen, can we back off with the NBA? Here it is. Great time of year with the Raptors' first game on Monday night. So excited. We got to get out of here with the NBA. Get out of here. I mean, I got enough struggles between hockey and football, and the Blue Jays almost making the playoffs. Can't do it.
Eventually, we have to just cut something off, or we'll never be. We'll do everything. You know what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Yeah, we can't have that. We can't have that. I will just say this about the Prairie Mobile text line. These guys have been waiting for a while. From Metal Shingle Guy regarding that CFL game on Saturday with Calgary beating Saskatchewan 23-17. He says, with Cody Fajardo's whining about not having a go-to guy, maybe Jeremy O'Day gets the Duke Williams, to join Canada's team. And he says, how about those onside kicks? Brett Lather's a baller. That's the Saskatchewan kicker who put his head down and recovered the second of the onside kick attempts on Saturday. But they still did lose the game. Allie in Edmonton says, morning RP show, question for you. Riders game Saturday for the onside kick. Is the eye in the sky CFL command center supposed to check for anything other than making sure the kick went 10 yards when nothing was challenged in a non-scoring play? We're just curious for your take on that. Thanks, Rod. Have a fantastic day. Allie's a nice lady, and she writes in regularly, so I'm not going to go off on this. But you know the bane of my existence in life is video replay. I'm so tired of it. Why do we have it? Listen, everybody's mad when the call doesn't go your way in any sport. Wait a minute. So they called interference on that onside kick, and we didn't get the ball back. They're not supposed to be able to call that. They're just supposed to be scoring. Well, you wouldn't have cared if you hadn't got the ball back. Do you know what I'm saying? The correct call was made. And it's like workplace accidents, 76 days without a workplace accident. We've gone 6 months without complaining about video replay. And that's the thing is, I love Allie. I love her. But do you see what I'm saying, Darren? Why are we sitting here splitting hairs in Samantha? I get she's just a typical football fan with that comment, but who cares? They made the correct call. Is that not what we have video replay for? Just because your team lost doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's the idea. No, that's the idea. And we see it in sports now where they're trying to open up replay on certain plays where it doesn't have to be challenged. Turnovers, touchdowns, scoring plays, they all are subject to an automatic review. And it's the way it should be. Yeah. I mean, we want to have as few delays in the game as possible. We want to get as many calls right as possible without interrupting the spirit of the football game. We don't need replay to tell us when there's holding on every play or whether you happen to, trip somebody up or make an illegal block or, those types of things. But game-changing plays where it's cheating and it's affecting the spirit of the game, that I'm into. So they're getting it right, and replay is, I don't have a problem with it right now.
I know, but who gets to decide what's right and what isn't? But anyways, hey, listen, we had a Rod's Rant here, which is proudly brought to you by our friends at Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today and book your duct cleaning. And I didn't think that I would have a rant right out of the gate like that. Moose, I see you switched your drink from coffee to what? What are you having now? More coffee
water.
Or are you into the cola?
I'm into the water.
Into water. Good for you, man. Never pass up a water. Isn't that what Tom Brady says?
That's it. I was inspired last night. I'm like, I better drink some water, do a few sit-ups this morning.
Prairie Mobile text line is open. You can reach us at 306-840-8777. That is 840-8777. Introducing SaskTel Plus pricing. Updating your cell phone has never been easier. Pick up the device you've been wanting without any upfront costs. Take advantage of the buy now, pay later program today. This is the second half kickoff for Core Grain, where we talk about all the topics on the table. And coming up a little later on, Jim Lang, Canada's foremost NHL expert. But I was saying to Brian Dodge, the mayor of Dodge City, he's like, what do you want to talk about? I said, because he's like, I'm a hockey guy, so I don't have a problem talking hockey. Can I just say this? The Florida Panthers are 4-0. They haven't lost a game yet. I got the Panthers sending me all their news clippings every morning, and they've only played Dallas and Nashville, if that means anything, Moose. But I went to the game Friday night, and I'm just getting into my Panthers stuff because I thought Alexander Barkov and Sasha Barkov were two different guys. I'm like, which one's? This says Alexander on the roster. Where's Sasha? Oh, that's the same guy, Rod. Oh, okay. The guy that scored a minute and 17 seconds into the game and completely changed just a wrist shot. Boop, beat your boy Anton Hudobin. A little low wrist shot, low stick side. I'm like, wow. I was on a show the other day, and they asked me who's going to be my surprise team in the National Hockey League this year, and I said the Florida Panthers. And I think it's because the hockey people know how good the Florida Panthers are, but society doesn't know how good the Florida Panthers are. And they've only added to their arsenal in Sam Reinhart and Joe Thornton. That's my surprise team in the NHL this year, the Florida Panthers. How about you?
Yeah, and you're right. And for me, it's not, because for me, they're not a surprise. I've had Panthers here on the upswing for the last couple of seasons, and they've been moving in the right direction. I've had them, and the sports books don't give them enough credit. Society, like you mentioned, doesn't give them enough credit. They just cast off the Panthers, and the Lightning are the big bad boys on top of everything, especially in South Florida. But look, at the Panthers are going to be really, really good. So yeah, in terms of society, they're going to surprise a lot of teams. Chicago's going to be good too. And I'm with you. Like, if I would have asked you this, I would probably thought you would have went with Anaheim in terms of surprise teams too. So Anaheim, LA, one of those two is going to step up. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I might have been a prisoner of the moment and got sold on Anaheim by our mutual friend who's a scout for them. But that's fine. He's proud of his team. But just watching Florida live, as I have now 3 times, whew, they're good. They're good. And they are my surprise team. Like you say, the insiders know that they're not going to be a surprise. Talked to my brother the other day, yesterday actually. Had him on speakerphone as I was pulling into Hard Luck Stadium. And I said, I'm going to have to go here right away because I'm entering a traffic snarl that is Dolphins parking. And we were talking about the Regina Pats game and how it wasn't packed. Surprises me a little bit. Connor Bedard's first home game, the next one. And the Brand Center wasn't packed. But anyways, my brother said he had a really good chat with the head scout for the Tampa Bay Lightning at the game. I'm just throwing that out there. Al Murray, the guy that had us at their Stanley Cup party. So the hockey people were all congregating, but can I just ask why it wasn't sold out for Connor Bedard's game? Everybody's been dying for hockey for 2 years, and then you can't sell out the Brand Center? Is that an unreasonable expectation?
No, it's not unreasonable. I would have assumed that it would have been sold out, but you haven't been around the community. There hasn't been a lot of buzz about the team in this community. You drive around the community, you don't see a lot of presence from the team right now. But you know what? You think Connor Bedard's enough to sell, and he should be, and he is. I think once this team gets rolling, and he produced. Yeah, are you surprised? I mean, he played well, had 2 goals in the opener on the road, and then scored again in the home opener. So, no, they're going to catch on and be like, okay, I got to come see this kid. And that place will start to fill up as we move through the season.
So they need somebody whipping people into a frenzy there. They need a buzz creator. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Well, I hope they find one. C. Walker, watching on YouTube, says, as a Leafs fan, I'm cringing being in a division with the Bolts, the Bruins, and the Panthers. Could you imagine if the Leafs missed the playoffs this year? You knew where I was going with that.
Oh, yeah. And it's possible. It's possible. Now, I see a world where potentially all 4 of those teams are in the playoffs. And that means Montreal's not, right? That means there's some good teams, too, that aren't going to make the playoffs. It's going to be really
Carolina's
tough.
in that division.
It's going to be real tough. Really, really tough.
Regarding the Bedard question, Jordan Ewart, watching on YouTube, says it's not an unreasonable expectation. Not sure where everyone was. Somebody sent me a video of Connor Bedard's introduction prior to the game when the lights were out and the fireworks were going off, and I'm like, where is everybody? But whatever. I said I was going to tell some stories about going to the Keys. I was jet skiing around the Florida Keys, for God's sakes. I mean, I wasn't watching the game. Corey Patterson, the Sizzler, wrote me from Tallahassee, Florida. Former Pat. He's like, are you watching the Pats game? I'm like, no. I'll be watching them when I'm there.
Yeah.
But went around the Keys. You got to get down here, Moose, because when you do, you'll be like me, not want to leave. But started watching Bloodline again, been writing down all the locations of the first time I watched it, wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
But now watching it again and writing down, like the Whistle Stop. I went to the Whistle Stop. It's a bar where there was a big fight in there. You've watched Bloodline, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's two. I could send you the photos, or I should have put them up on the Great Western photo album for the weekend. I went into the whistle stop. Two older guys sitting at the end of the bar, and I'm like, this is it. This is where the fight was. And they're like, yeah, Danny was sitting right here, and the Navy guy was right there, and he punched him, drilled him, he went flying into the jukebox over there, and there's a sign on the wall that says Bloodline was filmed here. These guys were literally, Moose, just waiting for someone to walk in and ask them about Bloodline. I'm telling you. Like, it's not like the Keys needed anybody to put them on the map.
Yeah.
But Bloodline certainly did. And there's a whole bunch of, obviously, what's become historic locations around the Florida Keys where they filmed that Netflix documentary. It's just been fantastic.
The Keys, for me, it was an old movie called Fool's Gold with Matthew McConaughey and Kevin Hart and Kate Hudson. That was all in the Keys, too, looking for treasure and stuff. Like, I do want to get down there, and I probably won't leave either.
Oh, it's just so amazing. Well, I've told you how many times people are saying to me, it's just good for your soul here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you ever leave, or why would not everybody want to live here? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Regarding the Brand Center not being sold out, Jennifer from the Four Seasons, for the Connor Bedard unveiling. She says, all I know, it felt amazing being in the stands, and getting the win was even better. Jeffrey in Salt Lake City says, by the way, Rider fans were there in numbers Saturday night, but very quiet compared to usual. What's up with that, Rider fans? I didn't notice. Like I said, I watched the highlights of it. I didn't watch the game. I should throw out the poll question today, by the way, that Moose came up with. Who's the best team in the NFL today? And as I look at this list, I think you should, I know you're going to have to put me on the screen for this. The Buccaneers, Cardinals, Cowboys, or Rams. We might have completely missed the best team on those four. What are the results saying on Facebook, guys? Do you have it in front of you?
Well, Facebook's
on Twitter, 48%. Oh, there is no Facebook. Right, it's down. On Twitter, 48% saying the Arizona Cardinals are the best team in the National Football League. Do we really believe that? They're not, right?
I don't know. They might be. And I'll make my case tomorrow, but I need to sleep on it again to figure out who is number one before my top five comes out in the morning.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at this. Some guy just wrote in and said, none of these teams are the top four in the NFL. But what are we going into week 5 in the NFL? Is it not too early to be even anointing anybody as the best team in the NFL? I mean, I understand that's what power rankings are for, but a lot of this is going to shake down over the next couple months. I guess it's just a fun thing to talk about right now, but there's no way that you could sit here definitively and say today on October the 4th, this is the best team in the NFL. I guess
no.
Arizona's unbeaten. I get that. But anyways, continue.
No, it's who's the best team today. And that might change a week from now and 2 weeks from now as teams go up and down. But like I said in hour one, there are probably 10 teams that have a real chance to win the Super Bowl. And it's never been that wide open. That's why there's a top 5 for a reason. And even 5 in the NFL sometimes is a lot when it comes to teams that have a chance to win the Super Bowl. But this year, it's probably 10 deep. It is wildly competitive, and we have no idea what's going to happen.
By the way, to the Prairie Mobile text line, Frank in Toronto is watching on Game Plus TV. Regarding Urban Meyer and the latest trouble that he's in, he says, Sir Meyer is not an NFL coach. USC will offer him the Brinks truck. And Frank goes on to say, Sir, I enjoy watching you. I played football. In Toronto, I cannot find football. I watch your show. Thank you. So I guess he wants us to talk more football. And maybe specifically the Canadian variety. I don't know. Frank in Toronto saying that. Urban Meyer, by the way, apologizing the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars for a video surfacing of a young lady gyrating in his lap in a Columbus nightclub. I have not seen the video. Have you seen it, Moose?
No, I haven't, and I'm not going to look it up.
No, I'm not going to look it up either. As Barry Long said in hour one from Go Long with Barry Long from L.A., he said, it's now Bourbon Meyer. And he said Urban Meyer was clearly drunk in the video. I haven't seen it. I don't want to see it. Can we keep this comment up? We'll address it when we come back from Robin Wildy. He says, what's your take on the Raiders' third jersey? I guess people don't want to talk about the actual games. We'll talk about this when we come back. And what other topics you want. The Western Hockey League deeming the third jersey of the Prince Albert Raiders insensitive and offensive and telling the Raiders to retire the jersey effective immediately. We'll talk about that and more when we come back. It is a Monday. It's Canada's daytime sports talk show coming at you from Dodge City in South Florida on Game Plus Television, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Our Peace Show continues on a Monday, and yes, from the beautiful shores of Isla Mirada in the Florida Keys. That is the is the exact set from Bloodline. Rayburn House. Hey, guys in the back, before we bring Moose back on, can you bring up that Prince Albert Raider third jersey, by the way, for those that don't know what we're going to talk about? Not right now, just in a minute when you can find it. We'll talk about the news. Okay. Just a sports update on this Monday. The status of Boston Red Sox slugger J.D. Martinez for the AL wildcard game against the Yankees is uncertain after he sprained his left ankle jogging out to his position in Sunday's season finale. Meanwhile, the Dodgers will see how first baseman Max Muncy is feeling a day after he exited the season finale with an injured left elbow. Manager Dave Roberts says it's very unlikely the slugger will play in the NL wildcard game Wednesday against St. Louis at Dodger Stadium. The Raptors, as my cousin Christine in Medicine Hat was pointing out, finally returned to Scotiabank Arena tonight for a preseason game against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Raps last played in Toronto on February 28th, and only 4 players remain from that team. What? I'm so not ready for the Toronto Raptors right now. Just take that over here. Week 4 of the NFL season ends tonight in Los Angeles, where the Chargers are set to host the Las Vegas Raiders. Vegas off to a 3-0 start this season, coming off an OT win last week over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Chargers are 2-1 after a road win over the Kansas City Chargers. This one tonight is a doozy. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your source for all things Western Hockey League, and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Okay, if you can, I don't know how you guys want to do this. Bring the Moose in if you can. You saw, Darren, obviously, the news release from the Western Hockey League over the weekend that they, after consultations with the Prince Albert Raiders, have decided to effective immediately retire the brand, the jersey, and the logo of the Prince Albert Raiders' third jersey. I didn't even know this was a thing anymore. Didn't they retire it like twice before? And listen, you're looking at alum right here from the Prince Albert Raiders. And my dad won a Memorial Cup with the Prince Albert Raiders. That's the jersey right there, which we used to lovingly refer to the guy on the chest as the Sheik. We talked about it, the Sheik jerseys. I looked up the definition of a sheik on the internet. It says the head of an Arab tribe. I suppose there might be some Arab folks that find this offensive, and that's probably why they came to this conclusion. I can just speak. I will speak on behalf of the Prince Albert Raiders, and I know that they will allow me to do that. As alum, there was never any hint, and I'm talking about going back into the 70s when this jersey started, or early 80s, of any insensitivity or offensive. That was not their intentions, but nor was the Moose Jaw Warriors logo. They had to change that. It's somewhat unfortunate, but we are in different times now. I guess the whole point is, it's, what do they call it? Unintended racism is what they call it. I learned that in my Recovery Coach Academy. So I guess you got to change it, but there was no intent. Over to you.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I don't think that teams and executives in these leagues and these teams are intentionally trying to offend people or be racist. I think that goes without saying. It's confusing the way this all went down because they unveiled it on Friday, and then by Saturday or Sunday it was taken down and deemed offensive, and the league stepped in and they shut the whole thing down. But they were allowed to go ahead with it on Friday, which means they were okay with it. The league was likely okay with it. And then you get the negative feedback. But they've used it before, right? They've used it before. It's been on merchandise. It's been on other things. And we've kind of talked about it. It's kind of come up a little bit in conversation like, wait till somebody, is offended by this logo. So it's a little weird that it was, it was allowed to go ahead. They were okay with it. The league was okay with it on Friday when it was unveiled. And then the reaction came, and then they decided to take it down. But you know what? That's okay, too, because it's okay to put something out there with the best of intentions and with the intention of stirring up history and great memories of other teams in the past and try and get some New Jersey sales and all the rest, and then get some bad reaction and realize, I guess more people aren't as okay with this as we thought. Okay, we'll take it down. Like, that's okay, too. It's okay that maybe we made a mistake, or that, we still think it's okay. We weren't trying to be offensive, but If this many people are upset, we'll take it down. Like, that's fine. But, man, I mean, we put it on Facebook, which I don't know if you can access because Facebook's down, and the hundreds of comments that we got,
listen,
people are upset.
There's a lot of comments coming in from our viewers right now. And by the way, Silverback watching on YouTube says, when are you talking CFL? We did last hour, Silverback. What would you like us to talk about? We've moved on. If you have anything specific, let us know. Otherwise, we'll do the talking and you do the watching, okay? He goes on to say, not going to lie, I'd buy it, but I'd buy a Washington Bullets jersey too. From the Puck and Pigskin podcast, and Red Deer says, how does a jersey design like that get approved in today's social climate? For the reasons that I just said, there was no intended racism or insensitivity from the hockey club. That's why. And it was fine 30 years ago. Why is it not fine now? I'm not defending the Prince Albert Raiders, but I'm telling you where they're coming from. Chris Bird in King City, Ontario, watching says, in a world of systemic racism, the occurrence of unintended racism happens all too often. And that is absolutely the truth. There's no two ways about that. But when is enough enough? Like, I've been guilty of unintended racism. But I'll speak of this, whereas as a middle-aged white man, I'm probably in the majority of the world. But as a person in recovery from addiction, I'm in a tiny little fraction. I'm in a minority of people that have recovered from addiction. And for those that admit to having mental health issues, of which I've been diagnosed of having 5. So when you hear people talk about a drunk, that's offensive to me to use the term drunk for somebody that's been in recovery. Or you're crazy. That's offensive to me. Nobody cares what I think. Is that because I'm a middle-aged white man? I don't understand. Who gets to decide what's offensive and what isn't? Are you comfortable at all discussing this, Moose? Or
100%.
Shall I move on?
No, I'm in. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be good with yourself, right?
Yeah.
And if you make decisions and you will go about your life with the best of intentions, with an open heart and an open mind, then, you know, I think we're going to be okay. And I think society's going to be okay with you. There's going to be that, you know, that internet crowd that wants to hammer you on every little thing. But if you go about it the right way with the right intentions and you're open-minded and, again, and have an open heart, when we do stumble and make these mistakes or when we say things that offend others, then we can have real conversation and real growth, and that's what happens. When we just shame people all the time and say, you can't do this, you can do this, and there's this arbitrary, very random policing happening, we're not growing, we're not changing because we're not learning anything. We see that all the time with kids, right? When you take the decision-making out of the kids and always tell them, you're making a mistake, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong, you have no confidence to go about your life, and all you do is sit there and wait for mom and dad to tell you what to do, right? And it's the same thing on the internet. We stop actually growing and doing things and learning. We just wait for somebody to tell us we made a mistake. And that's not a healthy way to live either. So,
well,
I just you have the right intentions.
I just say again, Silverback says they apologize. That's enough. But it's just funny because the PA Raiders, they live in here with me. They are in my heart. They just keep coming back with this jersey, right? They're not burning it. Like the Moose Jaw Warriors were like, okay, we get it. Done. I don't even think that jersey, that one that was deemed offensive, even exists anymore. Where the Raiders are like, we just love this jersey. And it means so much to them. You know what I mean, Darren? Like it's... Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. The Warriors never meant to be offensive. The Raiders don't mean to be offensive. But somebody got offended, so they got to get rid of it. So... And now here are the comments that make me a little queasy. You see the one from Jeffrey in Salt Lake City. I'm not going to read that on the air. It's not that bad, but that's unintended racism is what he's saying, and I'm not going to go any further with that. Hey, I'm going to break right away. Jim Lang has logged in. If you could have one, Moose, for Canada's NFL. Put Darren back on. This is for Darren. If you got one question for Canada's foremost NFL expert, what would it be? And we'll carry it over till the next block when he joins us.
He's listening now. I want to know his top 5.
Yeah.
Before I make mine tomorrow, because right now I don't know who's number 1. Like, part of me last night was justifying how the Rams are still number 1. And that is hard to do. So I'd like to hear his top 5.
All right, Moose, we'll see you back for overtime, all right?
Sounds good.
It is Canada's daytime sports talk show coming to you from sunny South Florida on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Beautiful look at Fort Lauderdale here in South Florida. Another hot, sunny day here in paradise. RP Show continues on a Monday, Canada's daytime sports talk show. And we got to get right into this. Canada's foremost NFL expert, Jim Lang, joins us, the coverer of 5 Super Bowls, Sportsnet insider for years and years and years on the National Football League. How you doing, Jimbo?
I am great, Rod. How are you, my friend?
Well, as you can see, it doesn't get a whole lot better than this. And honestly, I was sitting in a suite yesterday with Gil Scott. You know Gil very well at Hard Rock Stadium, watching the Colts. Yes, watching the Colts-Dolphins game going, this is the biggest of the big. It doesn't get much better than this, other than a very mucky first half. But that's not what we brought you on to talk about the Colts and the Dolphins. That was the snoozer of the day. Man, coming out of Sunday of week 4, Jim, what were your takeaways here yesterday? What a buffet.
Well, my first takeaway, because of your ties to the Dallas Cowboys, is how good Dak and Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys offense and the Cowboys team has looked the last few weeks. This is what a healthy Dak Prescott is capable of. People tend to forget that before he got hurt last year, he was on an incredible pace putting up numbers, and we're seeing the same now. And their differential from points for and points against could be better. But my goodness, offensively, the Dallas Cowboys look fantastic. I knew Kyler Murray and the Cardinals were good before the start of the season, and I really like former CFLer Cliff Kingsbury as their head coach. I didn't think they would be this good against the Rams on the road in L.A. Quite frankly, I thought L.A. was going to win the game, a close game, an exciting game. But the way Kyler Murray and the Cardinals played, it wasn't close. And the Cardinals took it to the Rams. And you could see Jalen Ramsey and a lot of the Rams players upset on the sideline. But let's give some credit to the game plan of Cliff Kingsbury. Kyler Murray, the way he has played, J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, that defense, it's a total package in Arizona. And, Moose was saying in my top 5, right now, number 1 in the NFL is the Arizona Cardinals. The way they played, who they beat, and to go in L.A. and beat the Rams the way they did, I've been so impressed by them. And I have to say, I've seen the Buffalo Bills play some decent defense before, but 2 shutouts in their past 3 games. And I know they played Houston yesterday, but shutting out a team in the NFL is very difficult. And, you got to go to Buffalo now. The deeper into the year goes, the colder the weather gets, the nastier the weather gets against that defense. Good luck to you.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers go into New England and win 19-17 on the suck-up field goal at the end of the game. Was that just right, that score, Jim? It wasn't a blowout either way. It was a rainy night in Foxborough that Tom knows all too well. Did that game play out kind of the way you thought that it would?
That's a great way to put it, Rod. Yes, it did. Tom, whatever he's going to say, was a little rattled going into the game, and I didn't think he played a typical Tom Brady game. He seemed off with a lot of his throws and some of his reads, so I think nerves and anxiety was a factor, even for a guy like Tom Brady. And you had to know that Bill Belichick, who cut his teeth as one of the great defensive coordinators the NFL's ever seen, was going to throw the kitchen sink at Brady just to keep it close. I don't think Belichick minded losing, but he didn't want it to be a 40-10 blowout with Brady dancing around 5 touchdowns. That he humbled Brady a little bit, and that it was a close game. So, because Belichick is no dum-dum. He knows the Patriots are work in progress. He's got a rookie quarterback who's showing some promise. But defensively, because of Bill Belichick and who he is, he kept it close enough to keep it respectable for the Patriots. That was a big thing. I mean, I look at with the Steelers, how they played against Green Bay was not respectable at all for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but at least for the Patriots, they could hold their head high walking away from that game last night in New England.
For our viewers, Jim Lang with us. Get our questions in on YouTube. You can text them as well, 306-840-8777. Someone had asked earlier for your thoughts on Justin Fields. Looked sharp in the Bears' win over the Lions at Soldier Field. I believe it was 24-14. What's your take on this kid out of OSU?
Well, I think he's got fantastic talent. And part of it goes, the week before, Matt Nagy and the coaching staff, I don't know where they got the game plan for a rookie. So inexperienced. They put a game plan in there that Aaron Rodgers may struggle to execute. So you have to cater the game plan sometimes to the talent of the quarterback. Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, when Russell Wilson was a rookie, tailored the game plan to emphasize his strengths and sort of shy away from his potential weaknesses and trouble spots. And then as he got more experience, they gave him a bigger playbook. So Chicago, and I'll give Matt Nagy credit because he takes a ton of heat in Chicago. He learned from the debacle the week before and put Justin Fields in a position to win, and it showed. These young quarterbacks, they need that confidence. The confidence of a young quarterback can get rattled awfully quickly in the NFL. People forget that. Troy Aikman, as great as he was 1-15 his first season as a starter in the NFL. 1-15. And he got beat up a lot. But they started to build a team and a game plan with Jimmy Johnson and Norv Turner and the coaching staff to maximize the strengths of Troy Aikman and make him the quarterback that he was. And that's the big challenge for all coaches in the NFL is, look, my quarterback can do this, but he can't do that. So let's put plays in that help him, not hurt him.
A preview, please, of what could be the game of the week if we forgot about the Patriots and Bucks, and that's Monday Night Football tonight. Your Las Vegas Raiders at the Los Angeles Chargers. What a slobber knocker this one's going to be.
Yeah, a real slobber knocker. And I think a battle with two great quarterbacks. And I think of young quarterbacks who've made a real jump from year to year. And it's Justin Herbert of the Chargers. I mean, I'm a big fan of his. I really like all of a sudden the relationship between Derek Carr and John Gruden. At first, I wasn't sure like how cohesive it is. Now I think they're really on the same page as coach and quarterback. They understand each other. They've got a system, an offensive system, a playbook that really works. With Waller, they've got a fantastic tight end. And the Raiders have a defense that no one talks about that is going to be the big deciding factor in this game is how Herbert, if he can make plays down the field vertically against that Raiders defense. And then the Raiders defense, and they can get after the quarterback. So for the Chargers, can they protect Herbert and make plays? And it's going to be one of those last team of the ball wins kind of games. So it's fun for football fans. It really is.
From Ryan McCarthy watching in New York State. Question for Jim. Is C.J. Mosley a strong candidate for not just comeback player of the year, but also NFL defensive player of the year? Can you explain why he would ask that?
Well, because he's been lights out. He was the best defensive player in week 4 of the National Football League. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the reason the Jets won that game is that Mosley played like a man possessed. This is the kind of linebacker play that Luke Kuechly had before he got hurt. And, if you're a Jets fan, seeing what Wilson did yesterday, like that's a promising sign. That's okay. This is what he can be capable of if he has help around him. But defensively, if you're a Jets fan, you look at Mosley and like, that's a player you can build a defense around. Get him some real big studs on the D line and keep offensive line away from him and just let him go sideline to sideline. That's a linebacker, and that's a defensive player NFL fans are going to hear a lot more of. And I don't think they have yet because the Jets have struggled, and you quickly dismiss any skilled players on a team. But Mosley is definitely starting to emerge as one of the better linebackers in the AFC or, quite frankly, the NFL. And especially if he puts up numbers like he did this past week. I mean, he was a tackling machine.
Canada's foremost NFL expert, Jim Lang, with us. It's such a buffet coming out of each week and going into each week. I don't know how you can condense them to 10 points in the column at rodpedersen.com, but I really appreciate you writing that column, Jim. I know how much you enjoyed, and our readers, too. Here's a fun one to end it, which I'm asking all our guests today. I think it's fun. Jaguars coach Urban Meyer apologized today to his family, his team, and owner Sad Khan for being a distraction after a video surfaced over the weekend showing a young woman dancing close to his lap. It was in a bar in Columbus. Meyer called a team meeting today and vowed to own it, the motto he uses daily and is plastered all around the Jaguars facility. I know you're just dying to talk about this. I mean, just say, my question is, does Urban Meyer finish this first contract in Jacksonville? Because he gets fired because the team's terrible, or he quits to go to USC or some other big school, or stuff like this. Like, what is it about Urban Meyer that he just attracts controversy?
He won't finish the contract. I think he finishes the year. Here's the problem. Where you're Urban Meyer and you're the head coach of a top 2 or 3 ranked NCAA team, it's like a benevolent dictatorship in that college town. Like Nick Saban in Alabama could walk around in his underwear all day and no one would say a word because he's Nick Saban. He's the head coach of Alabama. And it's different in the National Football League. So Urban Meyer was probably acting like he had done before, go to these college bars in Ohio and Columbus and hang out with his fans, his people. You can't tell me he hasn't done that before in some of his college towns he's coached, because you own these towns. But in the National Football League, it's a completely different animal. You're dealing with different media, different fan base, different backers. There are no alumni backers who give money to the school to help build a locker room so you can win more games. Do you have an owner who has built a business, who is paying you big money And Shah Khan came from nothing and built this huge business and built enough money to buy the Jaguars. He's like, hey, you want to act like a professional? Because that's just being unprofessional. You're asking your players to be held to a certain standard when they're off the field representing the team. Well, the coach has got to be held to that same standard.
Oh, I know. And my first thing, honestly, when I heard this morning of the apology, I'm like, where does he have the time to be in a nightclub with some young thing gyrating in his lap? He's an NFL head coach, for God's sake.
For a winless team. They're winless. So, I mean, why is he not thinking we have to play Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans next week? How are we going to prevent Derrick Henry from running for 150, 200 yards? That would be on my mind.
I never even thought about that. It looks even worse. From Dar, watching on YouTube, says Jim's column on the website is always excellent. You're the best, Jim. You know I think that. Thanks for this, man. I can't wait till we do it again. Have a great day.
Don't get sunburned, Rod.
Too late. Jim Clubber Lang joining us from Toronto. Yeah, it was suggested to me at Hard Rock Stadium yesterday that I put on a hat, but I survived. Moose joins us next. We've got personal messages to him. Overtime coming up. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Grade. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Grade Systems a call today.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
One more time. Overtime is at hand. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. That is at Robbie's, another Bloodline staple. As we bring the Moose back into the program, I said, Moose, that we had a direct message to you. It's actually to both of us here. It's from the 778. Michael J. watching in Maple Ridge, BC. Michael J. is watching on Game Plus Television Network and says, Rod and Moose, you made me tear up here. Addiction is super hard. Thank you for bringing it up. Just regarding being offensive and language that's used in and around certain segments of society, and I brought up recovery. What do they say? Stopping's not hard. Staying stopped is hard in the addiction and recovery business. So thank you, Michael J. And one day at a time, pal. Maybe we should send him a bracelet. Jeff Cabillas is watching in Winnipeg and says, speaking of NCAA, oh, the garbage man's here. See that?
I see that over your shoulder.
Is that what he's doing? Says,
either that or he's digging you a bigger pool.
Yeah. Says, my Georgia Dogs keep rolling with that relentless defense. Oh, man. Between college football and I saw this thing on Instagram from Tim and friends. They were asking, if you could use one word, what word would you use to describe the Blue Jays season? And that's what I meant to have as a poll question today, but you usurped it. I was going to say, what term would you use? Ecstatic, average, or disappointed, something like that. Because my term for the Blue Jays season would be disappointing. They made the playoffs last year. You're supposed to get better. Mine's disappointing, but there's a lot of people that were writing, amazing, inspiring. I'll show you a good loser. I'll show you a loser.
What I like is the optimism, right? That's one of my core pillars that I operate on, optimism. Well, it's, yes, stay optimistic, be positive. This is going to be a good team. But this season, disaster. Like, I really think it was terrible because of the potential that was there. This wasn't good news, feel good, almost made it. We saw when the Jose Bautista, Josh Donaldson Blue Jays had their run. The window in baseball is so small, and especially in this division. You got to go through the teeth of the Yankees and the Red Sox every year. And then when the Rays are good, your window is smaller than most. So you have to take advantage. This was a huge, huge letdown.
Go ahead, Darren.
What's that? No, it was a big letdown. That's all I got.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm sorry. I was trying to listen to you.
And
Earl James writes in on YouTube and says, frustrating. Same thing.
Yeah.
You're going to say you chimed in with something?
Well, you had brought up the college football thing, and I was just going to give my new Wolverines a big win over Wisconsin on Saturday.
Mm-hmm. Well, by the way, I suck at betting. I got to be honest with this BetRegal.net thing. It's awesome that you can play with funny money because I would be broke if I was gambling with you. I wouldn't be betting at all, actually. But with BetRegal.net, you get 1,000 points a month, BetRegal points, and it's fun. But I bet on Ole Miss to beat the spread against Alabama on Saturday. I'm uncomfortable bringing it up. And that didn't happen. I should have known that Nick Saban's 23-0 against his former assistants, now 24-0 against his former assistants. But, I mean, you had a pretty good weekend betting-wise, so at least there's that.
It's tough because, you go back to the Florida game in the heat, Tallahassee, it was such a tight game, and they beat the spread against the Crimson Tide. Ole Miss, they've been talking up this game all week and how tight and how Ole Miss is looking forward to it and everything. And I kind of would have went with you on that they would have beat the spread. But yeah, we were really good this week, and the only one we missed was the stinker that the LA Rams put up against the Cardinals. So I had the Rams over the Cardinals. That did not happen. But other than that, we went 3-1 this week. So that was pretty good. Pretty good week.
Hey, listen, it's still fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, oh, no, Rod. Gah! Listen, it's not real money. It's Bet Regal points. You can play, sign up at BetRegal.net. As a matter of fact, we were talking with the Bet Regal boys last week, and they encouraged anybody to sign up for the Play Free Sportsbook. That's all they want you to do is sign up and play for free, just like I did. You just have to put in your email address, proof of age, Bob's your uncle.
Yep. And you can accumulate points. You get 1,000 every month. See how big you can get it. It resets at the end of the month. In November, we're going to be having some fun contests around the free play sportsbook. So get in there and start playing now at betregal.net and figuring it out.
Well, and that's the fun thing about what we do here every day with the back and forth with the viewers. Jeff goes on to say, I had faith Ole Miss could put up a fight. Nope. The general in Calgary said, as did I. Clearly, I did too. And Alabama kicked the absolute crap out of them. So, anyways, that's why they call it gambling.
Yeah.
And I guess that would be if I was going to give gambling tips, I wouldn't say don't do it, but I would say stick to what you know. I should not be stepping my toe into the college football waters, Moose. But I keep doing it.
Not
it's
yet.
Like the Sammy Kershaw song, Don't Go Near the Water. We'll see you tomorrow, noon Eastern, here on Game Plus TV.
We don't know what we're doing.